Join ForumIAS Academy, trusted by hundreds of toppers, including IAS Rank 1 Shruti Sharma.
Hello and welcome to ForumIAS. Today is 23rd May 2023 and these are all the articles that we are going to see today from prelims point of view. Alright, first article is about the FIPIC Summit. So this FIPIC is the Forum for Indo-Pacific Islands Cooperation and this is the third FIPIC Summit. It has been held recently and it was held at Port Moresby in Papua New Guinea. And the previous versions of the FIPIC Summit, they happened in November 2014 and August 2015. So basically after a very long gap, the third FIPIC Summit is happening. Okay, and mainly the focus with respect to India's relations between the Pacific Island nations is free and open Indo-Pacific region. So, during this particular summit, which was held in Papua New Guinea, our Prime Minister was given the Grand Companion of the Order of Loguhu, the highest civilian award of Papua New Guinea, and this was conferred upon our Prime Minister Modi ji. So basically this piece of information, it might not be that important for UPSC Civil Service Prelims, but nevertheless it is important for other exams like EPFO, SSC, CGL, etc. So this FIPIC, that is the Forum for Indo-Pacific Island Cooperation, it consists of Cook Islands, Fiji, Kiribati, Marshall Islands, Federated States of Micronesia, Nauru, Niue, Samoa, Solomon Islands, Palau, Papua New Guinea, Tonga, Tuvalu and Vanuatu. So you need not remember all these countries, but with respect to this article, what we need to concentrate on is the map. So there has been questions in UPSC CDS examination from map part of this particular area in the world. So what you need to note is Polynesia. This Polynesia is very, very important because even New Zealand is a part of Polynesia, right? Then Hawaii, which is a US territory, that is also part of Polynesia. And what other island is part of Polynesia? So these two important islands are part of Polynesia. So this question came directly in CDS examination. So that is why I am bringing this map in today's discussion. Okay. Then we have the Papua New Guinea, right, where this particular summit is being held. So Papua New Guinea, it is in Melanesia. Okay. So the event is being held in Melanesia. And one more important island that has been in news is Marshall Islands. Because this Marshall Island, they have a cryptocurrency called SUV. And this is the official cryptocurrency that has been backed by the state in Marshall Island. So it has been in news, and Marshall Island is part of Micronesia. We have M and M. Okay, so New Guinea is a part of Melanesia, New Zealand and Hawaii are part of Polynesia. So this might come in map section directly. Alright, moving to the next article, it says that Territorial Army steps in, takes control of fuel and LPG supplies in Manipur. So for this particular article, what we need to know about is Territorial Army. So the Territorial Army, they are known as Terriers. So it is given here, they are known as Terriers and they are the second line of national defense after the regular army. So who is eligible for this? any male Indian citizen is eligible between the years of 18 and 42, and they will apply and enter into the Territorial Army service. So for this also there is a written test, there is interview, medical examination, necessary training, etc. And one more important eligibility is that whoever works in Territorial Army, they must already have a job. So if you are a part of Territorial Army, you are called upon only during emergency, exigency situation. So like in the case of Manipur, this is a very emergency like situation, right? So during rare circumstances only this Territorial Army is called upon. So they will already have a job, and that job will be paying salary for these Territorial Army recruits. So the Ministry of Defense or the Army does not pay anything to the Territorial Army recruits. However, they will undergo training and they will be called upon if necessary. Alright. So, first Governor General, that is Shri C. Rajagopalachari, who was the last Governor General of India. After that, we had only presidents, right? So, he inaugurated Indian Territorial Army, and it is an organization of volunteers, already we said, right? A male between the ages of 18 to 42, and they must already have a job, and they will have a short period of training every year. So they will be ready for any emergent situation so as to serve the defense of India. So this is the purpose. Okay, so it is actually a part of the regular army, and it will relieve the regular army. If the regular army is overburdened, in that case, Territorial Army will relieve them, especially in natural calamities. So basically this Territorial Army is used as a force multiplier. Force multiplier. So they might be used in natural calamities, maintenance of essential services in situations where life of the communities is affected. So this is the situation in which Territorial Army has been called upon in Manipur, so as to maintenance of essential services like fuel and LPG supplies. So here also they are showing 100 of employees of Indian Oil Corporation, and they are trained by the Indian Army. So already I said, right, they will already be having a job, and apart from that they will be called upon for emergent situations. And this Territorial Army comes under Defense Ministry. They don't have pension, they don't have salary. It is a volunteer force. Okay, so this might be asked in prelims. So have a look at it. Next article is about INS Sindhuratna. So we will see shortly what INS Sindhuratna is. So INS Sindhuratna, she is a Sindhu Ghosh class submarine, and this submarine has returned to Mumbai after undergoing a major refit at the naval dockyard in Russia. So it went medium refit life certification process, that is MRLC process in Russia. So as a result of this process, the lifespan of INS Sindhuratna has been increased by 10 to 15 years. So she will be in service for another 10 to 15 years. And Sindhuratna, as we already saw, she is a part of Sindhu Ghosh class submarine. After the Sindhu Ghosh class submarines, there was the Kalvari class, which is very famous, right? So this Sindhuratna is part of Sindhu Ghosh class, and these Sindhu Ghosh class of submarines, they are Kilo class diesel electric submarines, and they are in active service with the Indian Navy. So this piece of information, this table, it has been taken from Wikipedia only. So it talks about the various ships in the Sindhuratna, or rather the submarines in the. So This particular table talks about various submarines in the Sindhu Ghosh class. Okay, we have Sindhu Ghosh, which is the first, Sindhu Dwaj, Sindhu Raj, Sindhu Veer, Sindhuratna, Sindhu Kesari, Sindhu Kirti, Sindhu Vijay, Sindhu Rakshak, and Sindhu Rashtra. Out of these, Sindhu Veer has been decommissioned, and Sindhu Dwaj has been decommissioned, and Sindhu Rakshak has been decommissioned. The rest of the submarines in the Sindhu Ghosh class, they are in service. Okay, so how can question be framed from this is INS Sindhuratna has been seen in news related to. Like that, they can ask question. Next is about aim to lift AFSPA from Assam by 2023 end. It is said by Assam Chief Minister. So what he has said is that Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma reiterated here on Monday that the Armed Forces Special Powers Act was likely to be lifted completely from the state by the year end as law and order had improved considerably. So AFSPA is giving the armed forces the right to arrest and search without warrant and use force without a magistrate's permission, and basically at present AFSPA has been lifted from most Assam districts except 8 districts and 1 subdivision in Assam, and this Chief Minister of Assam has said that the few districts in which AFSPA is operational, from there also AFSPA would be lifted. So now we will see about the AFSPA. So it is a British era legislation because it gives sweeping powers to the armed forces. So when it was first brought in, it was during the Quit India movement, and later in the post-independence era, the ordinances were issued for AFSPA. As we know, during our independence, there were tumultuous situations in border areas. So AFSPA was again issued by way of 4 ordinances, and these ordinances were eventually replaced by an act in 1948, and it was present law which is effective in the northeast areas. It was introduced in the parliament in 1958. The present form of AFSPA is from 1958. So what does AFSPA mean? Armed Forces Special Powers Act mean? It means that AFSPA gives unfettered powers to the armed forces and central armed police forces deployed in disturbed areas to kill anyone acting in contravention of law and arrest and search any premises without a warrant and with protection from prosecution and legal suits. So basically they have the indemnity. Indemnity from what? Even if the police are acting in contravention of law with respect to arrest and searching of premises, they will be protected from any prosecution and legal suits. So AFSPA gives that indemnity and immunity to the armed forces. So in 1958, the version that is in force now, it came as a result of the Naga uprising. Again, this particular act was amended in 1972. So who has the power to declare an area as a disturbed? So here you see only in the disturbed areas AFSPA is applicable. Who has the power to declare an area disturbed? It can be the central government along with the state. Either the state can declare an area as disturbed and they can reserve that area for central armed forces, or the central government can from their side declare an area as a disturbed area. At present, AFSPA, this has to be AFSPA. So AFSPA is in some parts of Assam, Nagaland, Manipur and Arunachal Pradesh. So this might be asked in MCQs. In which parts of India is AFSPA still in force? So it is very important from that aspect. Okay. This has been in news for years together, and now that there is conflict happening in the northeast region, we have to be more aware of this act. Next is about Education Ministry holds meeting on Parak aimed at unifying 60 school boards. So at present we have in many states of India there are many school boards. Like for example, there is UP School Board, Tamil Nadu School Board, right? Apart from that, we have ICSE, we have CBSE. So, what is this Parak? We'll see Parak. And this came as a result of the new education policy. New education policy. We'll see more about Parak. So, the main component is that the Parak is a part of, it is an organization under the NCERT. So, what is the mandate of Parak? Is to work on bringing the school boards across states and union territories on a common platform. So, basically, the mandate of Parak is to unify all these state boards into a common platform. There will be a singular board. So, as a first step, the Parak workshop, it will act as a common platform for interaction so that all stakeholders can give their opinion on unifying the boards, what will be the glitches in it, how can this be implemented, how can this be taken forward. So on that there was a workshop that was conducted. So this Parak, the first step is that right away we cannot merge all the school boards. So the first step is to ensure a fair assessment system. So first we will do a common assessment system, like how we have a common entrance test for medical entrance, right? Likewise, for 12th standard, 10th standard, wherein the board exams are conducted, first there will be a common assessment system. No matter whichever board they study from, first common assessment system will come into place, and then from this as a starting point, we will move on to merging of all the boards. So this is the path that is going to be taken. So why this is needed? Why the school boards need to be united? That is because this enables seamless transition for students moving between different boards or region. In some states, even today, people shift from CBSE to state boards for 11th and 12th so that they can score more. This kind of trend is seen in many states. Some people switch to CBSE because they want to give IIT JEE exams. So in that case, if there is a common assessment system, if there is a common board examination, we can bring equity in education across all the states, and also it will help in transition across the boards more seamless. So that is the aim here. We will see as this news unfolds through the year. Now, we will see some previous year question. The first question, which of the following is issued by registered foreign portfolio investors to overseas investors who want to be part of Indian stock market without registering themselves directly? A. Certificate of deposit. B. Commercial paper. C. Promissory note. D. Participatory note. So the answer here is participatory note. It is also called as P note. So for example, we will discuss first how does this work. There is a person called as Jim, and he wants to invest in Indian stock market. Okay, but he doesn't want to register with SEBI. He doesn't want to go through all the process. He just wants to take advantage of the boom in Indian stock market. So what does he do? He will invest through a intermediary, that is a FPI, which is a foreign portfolio investor. The foreign portfolio investor, he will be registered with SEBI, and this FPI, they will execute the trade. They will buy the shares from Indian stock market on behalf of Jim. but the ultimate owner will be Jim, but nobody knows if Jim is purchasing the shares of a company, say for example ITC. Nobody knows if Jim is the shareholder, but Jim will be purchasing the share through an FPI. So this is called as P note. The mechanism through which Jim purchases share from Indian stock market, that is called as P note or participatory note. Okay, so this certificate of deposit, commercial paper, promissory notes, they are all negotiable instruments. They enable transactions. They are not related to investment in stock market. Participatory note is the answer. Next question. In India, which of the following review the independent regulators in sectors like telecommunication, insurance, electricity, etc.? So we have in telecommunication sector, we have TRAI. In insurance sector, we have IRDAI, right? So who will be reviewing these authorities? These are all the regulators for their respective sectors who will have overseeing effect on these organizations. 1. Ad hoc committees set up by Parliament. 2. Parliamentary departmental related standing committees. 3. Finance Commission. 4. Financial Sector Legislative Reforms Commission. And 5. Niti Aayog. So if you see Finance Commission, they will decide on the devolution of tax money from the center to the state. They don't have any business with respect to insurance, electricity, etc. So 3 is wrong. So by virtue of that, we can eliminate these two options. And now we are left with A and D. So again, by virtue of it, we know that FSLRC, they are also not a part of this because they just propose legislative reforms. They don't have any role in reviewing these independent regulators. Now we are left with 1, 2 and 5. So ad hoc committees set up by Parliament, yes, they have the power to review. Parliamentary departmental related standing committees, yes. So if it is a telecommunication ministry related standing committee, they will review TRAI. But Niti Aayog, they don't have the mandate to do that. They can just assess. They don't have the power to review. So in this case, if we take ad hoc committee by Parliament or parliamentary department related standing committee, here and all, it is more about accountability of these institutions to the Parliament. But with respect to Niti Aayog, it is not a legislative body. It is not an instrument of legislator. It is just a policy making institution. It is just a think tank. So Niti Aayog would not come in this, and the answer is A, 1 and 2. Next question. With reference to Legislative Assembly of a state in India, consider the following statements. 1. The governor makes a customary address to members of the House at the commencement of the first session of the year. Second, when a state legislature does not have a rule on a particular matter, it follows the Lok Sabha rule on that matter. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? So, the first statement is correct. The governor makes an address to assembly for the first session of each year, and also he will address the assembly in the first session after a general assembly. First session after general election. Okay, so in these two instances, the governor makes a customary address, and this governor's address has been in use for several months now due to Tamil Nadu governor, and this has a probability of getting asked in the current prelims. So statement 1 is correct. Statement 2 is also correct. So answer is C, both 1 and 2. That's it for today's discussion. Follow us on all these social media platforms. This is Indumati signing off. Have a good day. Thank you and all the best.